Students, welcome to online classes of biology once again. So in the previous classes we were studying the biosynthetic pathway or the arc reaction where carbon dioxide is getting reduced to carbohydrate in different ways, isn't it? So I have explained you about the C3 cycle and C4 cycle, and now yet another pathway, okay, through which carbon dioxide is converted is photorespiration. And I have mentioned this term when I told the Kranz anatomy or the C4 plants are doing this no, the C4 cycle just to avoid photorespiration. I told you, isn't it? So photorespiration means the respiration which is taking place in light. Okay, respiration, which gases evolved? Carbon dioxide, isn't it? So here also the glucose undergoes or that combines with means in the presence of RUBP, carboxylase oxidase. We have learned that the enzyme's name is RUBP carboxylase oxidase, that is Rubisco. So Rubisco is having a special property, that is it can add oxygen or it can add carbon dioxide. Understood? So oxygen when it is adding, okay, when it is adding actually, if the oxygen carbon dioxide ratio is what not equal. So if the carbon dioxide oxygen ratio in the atmosphere, if it is equal, then it can what occur, or it can add carbon dioxide to RUBP. Do you remember the first step of carboxylation in C3 cycle? It is carbon dioxide will combine with RUBP, the primary carbon dioxide acceptor, to form what? Two molecules of 3-PGA, isn't it? 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So this should take place. Instead of that, due to the dual nature of RUBP, carboxylase oxidase, that is Rubisco. Rubisco is what? The enzyme. Understood? Due to its nature, Rubisco's nature, that is in higher concentration of oxygen, what happens is the carbon dioxide, or instead of carbon dioxide, what the oxygen combines with RUBP, and it will result in the formation of two molecules of what the another two molecules, that is phosphoglycolate and okay phosphoglycerate. One molecule of glycerate and one molecule of phosphoglycolate. Both of these are two carbon molecules. That's what the term C2 cycle is also given to this. Okay, so photorespiration is also known as what? C2 cycle. What happens in this? In this, the RUBP, okay, instead of combining with carbon dioxide in the presence of Rubisco, it will combine with oxygen and form two molecules of what? Two carbon molecules. What are the two carbon molecules formed? Phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate. Okay, and this pathway is known as photorespiration along with the release of carbon dioxide. Understood? So it releases carbon dioxide with the utilization of ATP. Understood? And there is no synthesis of ATP, NADPH, etc. Then what is the use of it? Actually, even though I told carbon dioxide with oxygen will combine with this, okay, RUBP, it's not a single step process. It happens through many different substages. And in this, so many intermediate compounds are formed. So some of the intermediate compounds, okay, are used for the synthesis of certain amino acids, or some of the amino acids are formed. So like this, intermediate compounds can be drawn according to the need for the plants. So you can see that in C3 plants, okay, C3 plants, Rubisco is having the tendency to undergo photorespiration at low concentration of oxygen. Okay, and this is the reason why C4 pathway evolved by certain plants. So in C4 pathway, as I already explained, okay, there are two places where carbon dioxide fixation takes place. One is in the mesophyll cells and the other is in the bundle sheath cells. In the mesophyll cells, carbon dioxide is accepted by PEP and it will be converted to what? into oxaloacetic acid, and then it will be diffusing into the bundle sheath cells. There decarboxylation takes place, and so there only what happens, the C3 cycle operates. So in the place where C3 cycle is available or happening, there what is available, continuous supply of carbon dioxide is available. So there is no chance of Rubisco to undergo photo respiration, isn't it? Photo respiration will takes place in low concentration of oxygen, and this won't be taking place in the bundle sheath cells, where continuous supply of carbon dioxide is available due to the decarboxylation of what, malic acid or aspartic acid, which is formed from the oxaloacetic acid, isn't it? So this is the reason these plants are more productive, okay, and they can withstand high temperatures. So about you understood, I think you understood about C3 cycle, C4 cycle, and what, C2 cycle or photo respiration, isn't it? So in C3 cycle, the primary carbon dioxide acceptor is what, the RUBP. What is the enzyme? Rubisco. Rubisco is the most abundant protein. Rubisco is an enzyme, isn't it? It is the most abundant protein available in plants world. Understood? So in C4, the first carbon dioxide acceptor is the PEP. Okay, and then differences I have already explained. Okay, the differences between what, the C3 and C4 plants. Here it is given in the form of a table. Just try this. Okay, what are the differences between photorespiration, then what, C3 cycle and C4 cycle? All these are what, different pathways through which what, carbon dioxide is fixed. Okay, then next topic is factors affecting photosynthesis. Okay, so you know that the internal and external factors of the plant can affect photosynthesis, isn't it? The plant factors includes what, the number, size, age, orientation of leaves, mesophyll cells, chloroplast, isn't it? Internal carbon dioxide concentration, amount of chlorophyll. All these are the internal factors that affects the what, the photosynthetic rate. Then external factors are what, like it can be sunlight, temperature, carbon dioxide concentration, and water. Understood? So all these components are necessary, and this, okay, all these factors simultaneously affect the rate. So though several factors interact, okay, and simultaneously affect photosynthesis or carbon dioxide fixation, usually one factor is the major cause or is the one that limit the rate. Means there are number of factors which affect the photosynthetic rate. So if everything is optimum, then if one of the factor is not optimum, that is going to affect the rate of the photosynthesis. That will determine the photosynthetic rate. Okay, so this is explained by a factor, that is law of limiting factors. Okay, so that is proposed by Blackman. Understood? So it says that if a chemical process is affected by more than one factor, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to its minimal value. If there are different factors that affect a particular reaction or process, okay, all are optimum, but one is not optimum. For example, carbon dioxide, light, okay, etc. are optimum, but water is not there, and due to water less, okay, which is near to the minimum or lower than the optimum, okay, that is going to affect the rate of the reaction. So is it clear? So this is law of limiting factors. Okay, now the various factors, how they affect the what, photosynthesis. One is what, light. Okay, so light quality, intensity, and duration of exposure, how much time it is getting exposed, that will affect the photosynthesis, isn't it? So you can see that at higher light intensities, gradually rate will become increase, but when other factors become limiting, then it will become stable. Okay, so in the initial stage slowly it will start increasing, but after other factors are becoming the limiting, then it will become constant. Understood? So and you can see that some of the plants, they are adapted to live in shade places or in the dense forest, isn't it? And they will not have any problem. They are already adapted. Okay, so increase in incident light beyond a point causes the breakdown of chlorophyll and a decrease in photosynthesis. So in this way only photosynthesis affects. After a particular limit, if it is increasing, then that is going to affect the photosynthesis by causing breakdown of chlorophylls. Okay, now next is what? Carbon dioxide concentration. Carbon dioxide concentration is also a limiting factor, isn't it? So the concentration of carbon dioxide is very less in atmosphere. You know that it is between 0.03 and 0.04%. So increase in concentration up to 0.05 can cause increase in carbon dioxide fixation rate, and beyond this level that can become damaging. Okay, damaging effect can be produced in longer periods. Yeah, because it can cause what? Slowly increase the temperature, isn't it? So and C3 and C4 plants, they also respond differently. At low light conditions, neither group respond to high carbon dioxide conditions. Why? Because light will become limiting factor, isn't it? And if high light intensity is there, C3, C4 plants shows increase in the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, and like this, what slowly you can see the what the increase, okay, in the photosynthetic rate if the carbon dioxide concentration is slowly increasing. Okay, C4 plants, okay, they show saturation at about 360 ml, and okay, C3 responds to increased carbon dioxide concentration and saturation only after what? 450 mu per liter. Understood? So like this, what you can see the differences. So the C3 plants, okay, they can increase, or their photosynthetic rate will increase, and when carbon dioxide concentration is more, that's what we use, what? Greenhouse, isn't it, for growing the plants like what? Tomatoes and all. Understood? So these allow okay, they are allowed to grow carbon dioxide enriched atmosphere that leads to higher yields. Now temperature, how temperature affects? Temperature, the plants are, okay, sensitive to temperature also, isn't it? So C4 plants, they are more resistant to or they can work more smoothly in higher temperature, and they shows high degree of what? Rate of photosynthesis. But C3 plants are having what? Less temperature optimum. Okay, the temperature optimum for photosynthesis of different plants can depends upon what? How they adapt it, in which habitats they are living, etc. Okay, for example, tropical plants, they are having high temperature optimum than the plants adapted to temperate regions, isn't it? Then water. So if high temperature is there, that can lead to what also can lead to the destruction, breakdown of chlorophylls, and also what? Many of the enzymes will become deactive, isn't it? So like that, temperature optimum is necessary. Beyond that means it may also affect the photosynthesis. Now water uh, is needed for the light reaction. We learned where breakdown of water takes place, isn't it? So it what the effect of water as a factor is more through its effect on the plant rather than on photosynthesis. You know, water stress is there, means what happens? Tomato will get closed, and then what happens? Carbon dioxide availability will be less, and the plant may wilt. So like this, more than what? The effect on the photosynthetic rate, it is going to affect the plant. Okay, plant will be affected, and in that way it is going to affect the photosynthetic rate. So what we have learned now is the law of limiting factors and the various factors which affect photosynthesis. Okay, so this chapter is finished. So I hope everyone understood. Go through the chapter very nicely and thoroughly. Thank you.